U.N.L.V was created in '92. That's when we decided to create the name and everything in '92. And decided to go back in the bars and start picking up the mic, doing our thing again. Yella was initiated in the group in '93. Our first album came out, Six and Barones, our first album came out in '93. We had a single I was called Another Trick before Yella actually joined the group. And like I said, later in '93, when the album came out, Six and Barone, that's when he became a member of us.
I actually was living with Yella, you know what I'm saying? I had some problems at home. Me and Mom was clashing because I had to cross that fence and was in the streets, and she found like a quarter or two of dope or coke in my room, and we got into it, so she put me out. And Yella was the only child, and we was kind of, me and Yah always grew up as brothers and best friends. But Yella was somebody that I pulled off the porch, and he would do dirt with me. You know what I'm saying? I could get Yella to do shit with me that Yah ain't gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And we kind of bonded like that, and he was like, man, you could come over here. But at the same time, me and Yah, we still doing our thing with the music, and it had begun to blow up. And Yella wanted a part of it. He wanted to be a part of it, even though he didn't know nothing about rap. But he was
musically inclined.
Yella
drums
played
and
percussion at church.
Yeah, definitely musically inclined.
He definitely had melody and tones. So it wasn't hard for me to show him. Basically, all I had to show Yella was how to count a 16 and what bars was and how to really format a song. And once I showed it to him, he took clean off. It didn't take nothing at all. Yella, he became some would say he was one of New Orleans' best lyricists. You know what I'm saying? Arguably, or whatever. But it didn't take long at all. And during the time I'm living with him, he kind of like slick side gave me an ultimatum, man. Introduce me to Baby and them, man. Or Mom, on the cool, he ain't saying it in them words, but if you're from the streets, you can feel the vibe, and you know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, Mom said you gotta go, but introduce me to the group, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of went like that. So, I brought the idea to Yah, and Yah wasn't really so with it in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? And eventually I convinced him. Even Baby and Slim them, they didn't really want us to add nobody else to the group. They were satisfied with what we was doing, but...
And so basically, it be like, I'm like, U.N.L.V was already one, I'm like, group, actually with Cash Money, actually before, I'm a Yellow Boy, okay.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
We signed with them with the single, Another Bitch. I'm going to talk some more shit about Another Bitch. We did that ourselves, and it got so hot in the streets, one way or another, Baby and Slim got their hand on one of the copies, and they arranged a meeting with a cat that we actually recorded the song
Shout out
by.
to T-Bone. He produced Another Bitch, too.
That's how we ended up linking up with them, But once we linked up with them, they re-released that single, professionally under label, because really we had it bumping in the streets. We had a two-sided cassette tape in my living room, and we would just dub it and make copies and sell them all over the city for $5.
Gotcha. So, ever since y'all signed to Cash Money already, but I ain't jump onto that part. So actually, I'm like, how did y'all meet Baby and Slim?
We met Baby and Slim through selling our tape for $5, like you mentioned. We had the song Another Bitch, and we would take turns dubbing them. You kids probably don't know what a tape is, but it was an actual tape that we'll take turns dubbing the song on each side of the tape every night, and we'll sell them for $5. And Baby and Slim got a hold of the tape from who, I don't know, but we got word that they wanted to meet us. They were starting a record label, and we were interested in it.
Gotcha. So I'm like, did they pull up on? Did they pull up on fucking? Did they pull up on? I'm like Six and Barone?
Nah, we actually met them at the office.
Yeah,
okay.
They ain't pull up on Six and Barone. We met them at the office. They had an office
What is that? Gravia Street, yeah.
Like I think that was the first office building.
Hey, but that's dope, just even having one, like, an office,
Right.
like in the early 90s.
Yeah,
Right,
it was
yeah,
cool.
right.
It was cool,
Right.
man. We thought we was going sign like with Def Jam somebody at the time. You know what I'm saying? We only wanted
They
to
laid out
cut
the
a
red
record.
carpet, huh?
Yeah,
That's
right.
dope. Gotcha. So, hey, but y'all drop y'all first album. Hey, but then y'all, bring, I'm like Yella Boy, in the group.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, how did the song, hey, like me and you talked about it, but like, how did the song come about? Drag 'em by the river.
Drag him in the river, man.
Drag 'em in the river. I'm sorry, I said it wrong.
Yeah, Yella was he was real competitive, man. Yella was real competitive. For one reason or another, y'all really, he know the story. My brain fried, man. I done, but Mystical, he was like, do some little subliminal diss in his songs. But like I say, when you from the streets, you catch shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So we like, all right, he dissing. Like I said, Yella was real competitive, man. It didn't take no time for us to go in there and, on every project that we put out with Cash Money, we would put out, songs collectively, all three of us, and each one of us would do a solo song on the album. You know what I'm saying?
On each album.
On each album. That was the format. You know what I'm saying? And, I credit that to Slim and Baby. That was a format that they came up with. And it would also showcase, single skills between each one of the artists. And we all agreed that, go ahead and let Yella get back at him. And, man, he went in and did his thing. Like I said, Yella was very competitive.
Right. And so far as my knowledge, ever just talking to y'all, I'm like, Mystical actually went to, he actually went to high school with y'all.
Right.
Yeah.
But he didn't go to high school with Yellow one.
No, because
so
Yella was
and
at
so that
One
whole
Eastern.
time. So I
Yeah.
wanted to always ask one of y'all,
Right.
like, how did he
Yella-
really feel about Mystical?
I mean, he knew Mystical. All us said, bro, you know what ribbon is. You from New Orleans.
Yeah.
All we used to do is rib his ass daily.
Right.
Yella came a year after Mystical graduated, but he knew Mystical.
Okay.
Right.
Mystical knew him or whatever, and his relationship was the same with him, like it was with us. We used to rib the shit out of him, dog. You know what I'm saying? He used to rib us.
It's on site.
The fuck?
You're
Yeah,
on
that's
site.
what it
Just don't
was.
start. It's
when
kinda
he wanted to do that rap beef shit, that was something that probably stemmed from the relationship we had.
And so
for
he didn't
us
take it
ribbing
serious
each other.
either, though.
Nah, hell no. He started. He wanted to do that shit.
Yeah.
He wanted to do that, man.
But I'm gonna tell you, man, Yella, he was one gear. You know what I'm saying? One way. So Yella, in my opinion, Yella took it serious. Because he literally, Yella ain't give a damn.
That's what I'm saying. Like, out here, story.
Yella ain't give a
Mystical
damn.
told me one day that dude pulled a strap out. I was like, man, he couldn't have been serious, bro. It wasn't. He was like, yeah, dog. He pulled out. I was like, man, yeah. He said, yeah, bro. I was like, damn, dog. I can't say he did or he didn't, but I know for you know what I'm saying. That shit.
Hey, but we hear so many stories of Yella, but like no one knows him like y'all do.
Right.
Right.
So like I always want to hear from y'all. It's like I didn't want to hear from nobody else but y'all, cause like y'all the ones who actually was in the studio with him, went on the road with him.
I would say he was something like
him.
Mystical L1, unpredictable.
Right.
That's probably one of the best words to describe him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Unpredictable. And like I said, if I had to put money on it, I would say he took it personal. He took it serious, while at the same time we knew what Mystical wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? He was on one end of the city with a company. We on another city. So, at that time, he was real smart when it came to marketing, and
Facts.
we agreed to it.
Just come home from the service and we doing our
Right.
thing in New Orleans. You know what I'm saying?
So I want to hear it out both of y'all mouth. Like in the early '90s, how did y'all really feel about Partners in Crime and also Big Boy Records?
Big Boy Records. I mean, it was like, damn, dog. U.N.L.V, PNC, U.N.L.V, Cash Money, PNC, Big Boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we had to like, if we, even though we was cool, we was, fucking with the rest of the label and shit, it was really like Yeah, dog. They the enemies. You know what I'm saying? They the enemies. But PNC on the other hand, that was some real beef. And my main thing for not liking them dudes because I felt like they didn't like us and they even knew us. So that's what I was.
I think basically that was more the egos of the CEOs of those companies too, because you know, we used to link up with anybody and do music with them, whatever. But if I had to say it, I just don't think that Baby and Chuck, they was like more competitive. So, you know, when we wind up doing big shows and you know you will feel the tension, you know what I'm saying, and it could pop off at any time. You know, even I remember one night Mr. Mean and Yella even had a fight, a real physical fight. You know,
hey, but who won?
It used to get to that point.
I gotta mess with
man,
you.
they got it in, man. I ain't gonna lie. They both
shit.
And I'm gonna say before we go
in.
forward, it be like, you know, it be shout out Mr. Mina because, you know, but all the stories I hear, he always held his in.
Mina was a soldier.
Yeah,
he was a soldier, dog.
Man.
We looked at Mina like the head, like the snake head. You know what I'm saying? Like we get this dude, the other two. You know what I'm saying? That's how we was looking at it, bro. We always respected all of them, but it was just Mina. He was like the face of PNC. You know, you chop the face down, you good.
Yeah.
You know, but nowadays, you know, all that beef was
Right.
that was real beef. I don't want these little dudes to think that shit was planned or nothing. That was some real shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, you know, we put shit aside.
Y'all grown men, you know.
We grown
Yeah.
men, and you know, but a lot of people still grown men and don't get along. You know how it should be.
They ain't letting it
Not
slide.
just for business. You know, we deal with them on business level, but I deal with Mina on personal levels as well.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
So, you know, I interviewed, I'm like Miss T, and she also told me something about, you know, the big boy Cash Money. She said, you know, like her being on Cash Money side and like just hearing about the stories, it was more like everyone in the city knew, like, you know, but Chuck was playing with some real money. They heard about the big boy parties and the pool parties and like, you know, Baby and Slim wasn't doing it at the time. So like I want to know, like, you know, in the early 90s, it be like, you know, far as being on Cash Money, it be how it was for y'all.
Man, as far as the streets concerned, dog, honestly, we came from the street when we got on the label, and if them dudes was in the street like Chuck was in the street or whatever, I think we would have known about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And them niggas they hid it from us.
The thing about it is,
You know what I'm saying? They was out there.
They really wanted to, you know, get from off that side. So, you know, back then, Slim still not no flash guy, and back then, Baby wasn't no flashy person. I mean, you know, he had shit, but you know, you wouldn't know where it come from unless you dealt with him. And
we actually
Yeah,
turned to
the
the
number one
did
stunner
business
name
with
ain't
him.
come out until
Yeah.
U.N.L.V. was off the
Hey,
league.
he was like B32.
Straight up.
Right.
Yeah, all
Some-
shit like that.
Some
Bubble
people,
and
some people,
Beatrice and
some
all
people
that. You
sell
know?
dope and want to be known as the biggest dope dealer, and some people sell dope because that's what they gotta do, and they try their best to hide the fact that that's what they doing. And I believe that's what Baby demeanor was opposed
At first.
to Chuck demeanor. You know, the city know he was a drug dealer, and it's almost like he didn't try to hide the fact that he was a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying?